Hey traders, what's up? Mike here with the watch list video for Thursday, June 22nd. Another red day on the SPY. We're getting down to, an area where it'd be interesting on a pullback. Not that I trade the SPY, but, maybe we're overdue or getting close to being overdue for a market turn back up after 3 red days, which that sounds weird to say, but, market has generally been that strong lately. If you were in chat today, it was very much like what I imagine. I've never been through Chinese water torture. But it felt like that's what it would feel like. Just slow, nothing going on. Felt like nobody was trading. And that's summer trading. It's what I do for a living, so I'll be in front of the screens no matter what, and hopefully, catch a news play or catch a pullback on after a news break or whatever. But overall, it's pretty dead out there. And if you were in chat, you knew that, right? Or you know that. All right, anyway, what are we watching for tomorrow? I'm a day trader. You guys know I'm looking for stuff that may give me a trade tomorrow. I'm in cash every night. So CVAC had the big pop yesterday. Quiet inside day today, but held up. So we're looking for a third day play. This MGOL chart is still holding up pretty well. So I'm going to keep that on watch for a trade. UCAR had this massive pop back here. Secondary pop that topped out here at 15.29 and then today topped out at 9.19. For some reason, I don't see any volume on it on this. That's a little weird, but go into 60s, you can then, for some reason, the volume shows up. Anyway, I'm holding up pretty well after a decent move today. There's 5-minute candles. And it did have a headline, so we're definitely going to watch that one tomorrow. ASST had the gap up back here, came back down and was chopping along sideways. I would like this more if it would have closed, near the high of day. The fact that it didn't and I couldn't find news makes me feel like it was probably just some Discord room pump, right? And so they sold off at the end of the day. But it is kind of interesting in that, had the pop back here that actually did have a headline. Topped out at 350, today's high 278. Closing well off the highs though, but that one's going to be on watch. CVNA, Carvana, a lot of shorts in the name. Did find support at the 8-day, closing above its open today. Goes back on watch for tomorrow. Play isn't that interesting, but it had a big rip here. Well, actually had a big gap up on earnings, pulled back, then another rip, and then turned yesterday, had a nice bounce. And what's interesting to me is yesterday's high, 42.51, today's high, 42.50. So you kind of have a 2-day high break possibility over 42.50 tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to keep an eye on it. It's not a beautiful chart or anything, but it's certainly an in-play, recent high flyer, and that's what we look for. I typed that wrong. CXAI. Had the nice pop yesterday, quiet inside day today. So looking for a third day play, especially if AI plays bounce tomorrow. And I'm going to talk about AI itself in just a second. ZURA had the nice move yesterday, topped out at 12.99. Today topped out at 13. So super interesting over 13 one of these days. I'm going to keep that on a chart. Speaking of AI, the actual stock that started it all, you've got 3 days in a row down, bounced right off the 20-day today. I was looking for an intraday bounce, but it didn't get low enough for me. The area I was looking around 36 bucks for a possible turn, but it bounced ahead of that. Anyway, certainly a decent chart to look for a bounce play tomorrow. Not that often I have Intel on the watch list, but I do. A couple nasty red days. The chips got hit pretty hard, but it's right there in that area where we look for a bounce, right? Between the middle, the 8 and the 20-day, right in the middle there, that buy zone we look for. So if chips get a bounce, I like the looks of Intel. NCNO, I believe this was a pop of 3 sessions ago on a buyout rumor. And then you've got a couple red days on declining volume. I'm going to put that on bounce watch. EH had a nice, excuse me, choking here. Had a nice run, and now 3 days lower right into the 8-day on declining volume. Looking for that to maybe turn back up tomorrow. And then lastly, Root, which is trading at $12.95 right now in after hours. And if I show you the intraday, this is actually where it topped out and halted at 664. For some reason, when I show you the daily, it makes it look like it went to 1262. It's reading some of the after hours for some reason. It must be a setting I have or something. I'm still getting used to these charts. You guys know I've switched chart providers. I'm still getting used to it, but this technically topped out at 6 something. Anyway, trading around, well, actually right now at 13 bucks in after hours. I believe it came out that they had a buyout offer. I can't remember what it was now. 17 something, 19 something dollars, somewhere in there. And and it halted. So we're going to keep our eyes on it tomorrow and see what it does. Maybe it gives us a trade. That's it. I'm done, Bab, and we'll see you in chat in the morning. Have a good night.